Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Steve with Real Progressives. I want to talk about a combination of things. It's going to be quick. Net neutrality, activism as a whole, and how we pay for it, right? Three things: net neutrality, activism, and how we pay for it. So here we are. Net neutrality is suddenly on the books again. It's been out there for a long time. Many of us have ridden the wave as net neutrality has been bounced back and forth. Bill Clinton and his famous deregulation of the telecom industry did us no favors back then. But it's very important to understand that as we sit here on the precipice of losing net neutrality, as the government does what it does, this is a case, in my opinion, and I stand by this, and I'll stand by this as long as I'm alive. This is a case of activists chasing shiny objects and not keeping on the prize. This is a case of we, the people, focusing on which elected officials we care more about than focusing on the issues. This is a case of us trying to build little coalitions, trying to do all these things, but we're not focused on the issues. We're focused on building cliques. This is about us celebrating and hero worship various politicians instead of focusing on the issues. So it's too late to suddenly educate 340 million people in America about what net neutrality is. It's too late. That window closed. We didn't spend enough time talking about it. We didn't spend enough time talking about what would be at stake. We didn't spend enough time explaining to folks that if we don't stand against this, there are powerful beings out there that will keep like a dripping faucet, that will keep at this. It'll be silent, it'll be quiet, it'll be behind the scenes, but it'll just keep going like this. Boom, 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 boom. And here we are chasing, the orange tyrant, Cheeto Leany. Look at his tweet today. And you look around and the enemy, drip, 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 drip. Net neutrality, we got to take it down. Everybody's going back to sleep. Net neutrality, let's go ahead and take it away. Net neutrality. And it's going to keep that way. And it's going to happen with Social Security soon. And it's going to happen with all the public services. Pretty soon, you're going to be lulled to sleep believing that Silicon Valley and these rich people, these rich libertarians that want to get rid of the public purpose, get rid of social safety nets, that they've got your best interest at heart when they tell you we should do an UBI. Hey, guys, let's do a UBI. And you've been thinking, wow, that sounds great, man. That sounds wonderful. And then all of a sudden, as you're sitting there falling into your stupor because you haven't paid attention, all of a sudden they sweep in there and they knock out all of the public purpose safety net things that have been built through the Great Society, you name it. And you feel really grand that you've got your UBI. And they're like, well, you better save it. You better parse it out just so. Because after all, how are you going to afford food? How are you going to afford shelter? You better be really good with that money. When in reality, we had a public purpose, our federal government serving the needs of the people, but you fell asleep again. Once again, you got wrapped around the axle with, we love Tulsi, we love Bernie, we love Jill, Dem exit, Dem enter, whatever. You got caught up in Cheeto Leany's latest tweets. You got caught up in all these things. You keep waiting for the right politician to do the right thing. You keep hoping the right politician will say the right thing. You keep pushing the responsibility to the politician instead of to the progressive activists who are absolutely the ones that have to keep that drip, drip, drip in constant concert against the establishment. Instead, we start talking about Rothschilds and Soros and all these other gibberish things that should literally wake us up to realize how stupid it is. It gets us nowhere. But here we are, net neutrality is getting ready to go the way of the dinosaur. But you got people out there talking about the Rothschilds. Folks, activism is not something you do in election cycles. Activism is something you do in between election cycles as well, because you've got to educate the public so that you can build momentum, so you can keep focused momentum. Do you realize that when we try and talk about focused things, people bounce off the walls? They're incapable of staying focused. And we're about to pay a heavy price for that with net neutrality. The loss of net neutrality could eradicate our ability to do live streams and to do all the things that you all have grown used to having there to educate yourselves beyond the mainstream media. Do you realize what's at stake here? And here we go. We're going to go into the 2018 and then the 2020 elections. And you guys haven't been talking about how to pay for a new deal. You guys have been, well, if Bernie didn't say to do that, then why would we talk about that? You tell your Congress people, you tell your senators, you tell your politicians what is important to you. You don't wait for them to give you the green light to care. You don't wait for them to suddenly bubble up a bill for you to suddenly care. You've got to be educating people and building momentum and explaining why this is a superior solution. And it doesn't happen during an election cycle. During an election cycle, those folks just got to get votes. They just got to win. And they're not going to try to change the world. They're not going to say something that somebody could paint them as a kook or crazy or off. They're not going to stand up during that time because their goal is to get the most votes. So here we are, trapped in a friggin' prison of our own making, while the establishment drip, drip, drip keeps after the things that it wants to attack. It keeps after the things that it is going to take. They're organized. They don't sit there and go, hey man, you're authoritarian. I don't like your attitude. Your tone is wrong. No, they go drip, drip, drip. And they erode all that stuff. While other people out there, I don't like the way he said that. It hurt my feels. I'm not joking. You want to talk about something important? Let's talk about staying focused. Activists are supposed to be human alarm clocks. They're not supposed to be gentle and sweet. They're not supposed to be telling you things that tickle your ear. Activists are trying to change the world, and change is hard. And if you keep cutting the legs out from under activists who are vocal and proud and fighting, if you keep, I don't like his attitude, it bothers me so much, he's condescending, he's this, he's that, you get nothing. You get net neutrality taken away from you. That's what you get when you bitch and whine about people's, oh, I don't like his tone, it triggers me. Okay? No joke. Net neutrality, gone. Why? Because of that crap. Now what's going to happen when we go to try to push for a new deal? Do you think there's enough progressives out there fighting for a new deal? I'll tell you what I see. I see a bunch of people saying, hey, look at Bernie Sanders. Look what he's doing. Hey, look at Jill. I think she'd be a great president. Hey, look over here at this person. I love Tulsi. Oh my God. Tulsi is so great. I love Bernard. I love them. That's what you see. I'm sorry, I'm an activist, and I'm not here to tickle your ear with lovejoy. I'm here to tell you the truth. I'm here to receive your scorn if that's what you do to the people trying to change the world. If you're willing to sit there and go, I love Tulsi, instead of focusing on these issues, you're going to have yourself to blame when we can't get anything done. Because what's going to happen if there's not enough power pressure coming from the people, they're going to go where the next best pressure is, and that's the money coming in. The money coming in is going to push them to do things that you don't want them to do because you haven't been pushing up. Day one, I've been talking about a new deal, a green new deal, and I haven't stopped. I keep talking about the platform of Bernie Sanders, not Bernie Sanders, the platform of it, and I'm going to keep doing it. Drip, 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 drip. Why is that? Because I am sick to fucking tired of people trying to distract us from saving lives. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I can't live that way. If you can go to bed at night, putting your head on the pillow, talking about Cheeto-Leany, instead of fighting for a new deal or fighting for net neutrality, then you and I have different values. You and I have vastly different values. If you think it's okay to not learn Look, I'm fighting day in, day out. There's got to be some reason I'm talking about economics 7 days a week, right? Do you think it's just because I like talking about economics? No. It's because as long as I've watched the progressive movement, and I'm talking about for a long time, the progressive movement always dulls down its expectations because they can never answer how to pay for it. Or when they do say how they're going to pay for it, it's tax hikes through the roof that make it so it'll never happen anyway. This is why we have to keep the drip going. Boom, 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 like a metronome. Boom, boom, boom. You can't take your foot off it, because if you do, the other side is coming in. Boom, boom, boom. You take a break, they go boom, 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 boom. And you have to make up that ground again. You have to make up that ground again instead of a sustained effort of boom, boom, boom. They're coming at you, we're coming at you. Who's going to keep the boom going? Who's going to keep it up? Net neutrality is about to be gone because folks went to sleep. The next thing you're going to see is Social Security is too expensive, it's broke. And you're going to hear the dumbos running around talking about how the Republicans rated a spreadsheet. They rated a spreadsheet. Guys, Social Security can't go broke. We need to expand it. There's your basic income. Nothing fancy about it. Nothing fancy at all about it. Stop believing the lies and get the momentum going. Drip, drip, drip. Because they, boom, boom, boom. And they will beat you down. And all of a sudden the progressives say, well, it's all very hopeless and stuff. You know, guy, it's very hopeless. I mean, they're all bought and paid for. The system's rigged. There's nothing we can do, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and play golf or friggin' go become an anarchist and run off in the woods and forget all this stuff. I'm done fighting, man. I'm really cool and stuff, man. That's not how we win. That's not how we win. I promise you. I'm telling you this because I love our movement more than anything in this world. I fight for it 7 days a week. I take crazy amounts of abuse for speaking truth, even if you don't like it. Why is that? Because I'm not worried about the politicians. I know some people think it's really important to yell and scream at these politicians like they hear your Facebook posts. Man, those politicians, Donald Trump's reading your he saw your meme and goes, God damn it, that guy on Facebook made a meme about me. Holy shit. God, okay? It's not happening. That's not true. The only people that are listening are the people that are watching your Facebook posts. That's it. Now, NSA might be watching it for sure. But you and I, we have to change how we behave. That's where we have our power. We don't have power that way. We have power with each other. And as a group, we have power. But we don't have group making a meme about Donald Trump. That doesn't do shit for us. Maybe it's time you woke up. Maybe it's time you got that. We do have power, my friends, but it's power to influence each other so that we can unite behind common goals. Not, oh, I like Tulsi, I like Bernie, I like Jill, I like this, I like that. The principles. We have a mass movement. That's how the 99% works together. That's it. I'm Steve Grumbine with Real Progressives, hoping you have a wonderful day today. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.